Hey, what's going on, aarava here, and welcome back to an episode of my F1 2018 mod career mode here with Fernando Alonso in his McLaren for round number 14 today for the Italian Grand Prix. We had a really fantastic episode last time out, a big disaster for the championship leaders, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. If you did miss that episode, be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. But going into this, we have a lot of good momentum. The car got upgraded last race. Renault have got a bump for this episode, so they may be a little bit better. But yeah, we've got good momentum. Me and Stoffel performing well last episode. So I think we can take that into Monza. Usually, obviously, low tyre wear. I don't know how the higher tyre wear of this 2018 mod is going to react to Monza, so could be interesting. I'm definitely leaning towards maybe going towards the one stop, but we'll have to see what the strategy screen looks out for us. But before we get into that, let's go to the starting grid and see how that order lines up. So here's how the starting grid then looks for the 2018 Italian Grand Prix here, the home of Scuderia Ferrari, but on pole position, it's a man in silver, Lewis Hamilton on pole once again. But look at this, the two championship rivals, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel side by side on the front row. That is going to start the hype up for this crucial Grand Prix for both these drivers. After a horrendous Grand Prix last time out, they need to bounce back. Their respective teammates had good ones last time out, relative, and Valtteri Bottas lines up in third place with Kimi Räikkönen in fourth. Then, last race winner, Daniel Ricciardo, fifth place then for him, Max Verstappen in sixth, and that familiar third row is all Red Bull. Then the fourth row comes seventh place, Stoffel Vandoorne. Vandoorne out qualifying myself as Fernando Alonso for the first time, I think, in this entire series, in seventh place, ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, the ever-consistent man, bopping up there in the fourth row. Then ninth place is ourselves, so we only lost out by a few tenths to Stoffel Vandoorne, so I think we can still have a good race. And then 10th place is our fellow Spaniard, Carlos Sainz, to round out the top 10. The next row is all Haas, 11th place for Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. Of course, those guys have a free choice of tyre, and they may go well today with the Haas using the Ferrari power to good advantage. The next row, familiar, all Force India, Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon. They too could have a really good race. Their race pace is generally better than their qualifying pace, and they've been known to have lower tyre wear, so they could be going for the one stop today. The next row is all Toro Rosso, Brendan Hartley and Pierre Gasly. They may have a tough time though with the straight line speed not being there with the Honda maybe, and they've got some very fast Alfa Romeos behind them at Saubers of Charles Leclerc and Marcus Ericsson in P17 and P18. And then the last row of the grid is all Williams, Sergei Sorokin and then Lance Stroll in last place there to round out the grid for the 2018 Italian Grand Prix. So yeah, for the first time ever, out-qualified by my teammate Vandoorne in this series. He actually had some genuinely good pace, so fair play to him. But you can see on the strategy screen, this is what I'm talking about. The default is a one-stop to medium tyres, and I am seriously considering that, because last two races, really, we've been caught out with maybe not going to the more tyre-saving strategy. We were going for the more aggressive approach, but this time around, Monza is probably the best place with the lowest tyre wear out of the last couple episodes to maybe go for this strategy, and so I think I may consider it. We'll have to see what the AI do. It's going to be kind of reactionary to what they do. But let's get into this then. So we go to 5 red lights to the Italian Grand Prix. P9 on the grid. What will it be after this as the lights go out and we're underway? It's a gingerly start for us. Vandoorne gets a good getaway against Max Verstappen, who again has a sluggish start. It's 3-4 wide as I think a Ferrari's trying to go down the inside. I think it's Räikkönen down the inside of Vettel, and Hamilton off pole's been pushed down to P3. It's a 1-2 for Ferrari there here at the home of the Tifosi fans, and they're going to be screaming away as there's now Hamilton down to P3, Bottas P4, two Red Bulls right ahead of us. We've got ahead of Vandoorne. We're going to try and go 3 wide with Verstappen down the middle and Ricciardo on the right. Bottas tries to get Hamilton perhaps, and we're going to go down the inside now if we can. No, Ricciardo tries to go around the outside of Bottas. He's made it work. We've now been pushed backwards down to P7 as we got caught up behind Valtteri Bottas, who was a bit of a blockade and traffic jam for us, and so we've actually lost out overall. I mean, we gained 1 position to our teammate. We're going to have to wait until lap number 2 to try and re-overtake Max Verstappen. He's kind of held up in the middle of the circuit. Looks like he's a bit vulnerable down the inside. He locks up, so he's struggling at the moment here at Monza. Aggressive into the second turn on the apex, and we're up into P6. But a great start there for the Ferrari guys. It's a 1-2 at their home Grand Prix, so that's going to be amazing for them. But as we move on to lap number 5, we can see Sebastian Vettel is the one right ahead of Bottas. So Ricciardo's made a real getaway now, as he had a slow start with along with Verstappen, but now he's really got on and he's up into P3. So Vettel from first place, I think it was, is now down to P4 and just ahead of Bottas in P5. And there goes Bottas now down the inside. It's going to be close. Vettel on the outside, bit of contact's made, and Bottas is round. Oh my god, super close. Bottas once again for the second time now in this Grand Prix has essentially brake checked us or parked it in the apex and become a mobile chicane for us. and he nearly lost the back end completely and was rather sideways in the middle of the Ascari, but thankfully he held it, and thankfully we kind of saw that and lifted off. But now he has finally overtaken Vettel into turn 1 on lap 6. We've gone around the outside of Vettel, as Vettel's got some sort of issue for sure, 100%. He can't be going that slowly just on his own accord, so I think he's got an issue here, which is a shame for the man driving for the home Grand Prix, obviously, of Ferrari. And we've gone down the inside of Bottas now, who's slow into that chicane and up into P4, and using that extra pace on the McLaren we have from last episode to good effect. Ricciardo at the moment in P3. I believe it's Raikkonen in first, followed by Hamilton, but Ricciardo, also showing the pace he had from last episode, is carrying forward. So me and Ricciardo were 1-2 last episode. Ricciardo the one winning that Grand Prix, me in second. It looks like that kind of same situation might occur, so let's see what happens. We close up to Raikkonen now, who's down in P3. So Hamilton and Ricciardo are the ones battling for first place. Raikkonen now going slow. So Ferrari, I don't know, kind of almost like their 2011 days, where they start off really quick on heavier fuel, and then as the fuel burns through, the cars seemingly getting slower and slower. As Raikkonen's maybe vulnerable, I have a little bit of a look and just kind of throw him off in the mirrors, and perhaps obviously the former teammate of Fernando Alonso back in his Ferrari days, so trying to put him off a little bit. Doesn't work out to turn 1, and so we just stay put. You can see the tyre wear is pretty high, and we're on lap 9, so if I was going to do an aggressive 2-stop, I would be pitting right about now, but at the moment, still got the pace down the inside now. Big dive bomb down the inside of the fin, and we made it work. We went really hard on the brakes, really quite late into that zone, went so deep into the chicane, and we made it work. And so now we're up into P2 as Hamilton has already pit for his first pit stop. Hamilton going for a 2-stop, it looks like, as we go a little bit wide in Ascari as the tyre wear really kicks in. So from my point of view at the moment, it looks like the top 3 here, Ricciardo, myself and Raikkonen, the only ones doing a 1-stop here. I've basically been almost not forced, but I kind of followed Ricciardo into the 1-stop here because as I said, I really didn't know what I was going to do, but we've gone as long as him, and he's coming in. I'm going to come in as well, cover him off, and Raikkonen, I think, is also coming in behind me. We just about make that on the dot, braking there for the pit entry. Raikkonen's in as well, and so at least I will be going to the medium tyres to make that 1-stop work. We've gone really long on the super soft tyres, so that should give us a nice edge on the mediums in terms of we'll have plenty of tyre wear to play with. Ricciardo, as we get held up a little bit by the Red Bull pit garage, and we just about only come out ahead of Raikkonen as Raikkonen's car ghosts there in the mirrors, but Ricciardo has gone to soft tyres. Raikkonen's on medium, so 100% Raikkonen is doing a 1-stop with me, but Ricciardo's in soft, so that's a very odd strategy. Vettel is on medium tyres at the moment, so he's maybe doing a 1-stop as well, but he's just not been able to have the tyre wear and the super softs to drag it out as much as his teammate, potentially, so he's effectively undercut as Vettel has. But Ricciardo, that's the interesting one. He was the one leading at track position, and he was the only reason I went to the 1-stop here, because I assumed that's what he's doing. But he's on soft compounds now, so I don't know what's up. That's a very odd 2-stop if he's doing a 2-stop, or I don't know. Maybe that's going to be the bonkers nature of how much pace he has. Maybe he thinks he can do a 1-stop and do it with a set of soft tyres. If he does, that'd be quite amazing. But I think we have a little bit of an advantage here, that maybe we can lean on the medium tyres a bit more at the end of this Grand Prix. So I think, you know what, I think the victory might be on here today, because I think Hamilton and Bottas have taken themselves out of the Grand Prix with the 2-stop. We've already got Raikkonen in the back pocket, and Vettel is just up the road here, and we're going to have a lot of slipstream here. He's held up by traffic of, I think, 2 Toro Rosso cars and Ricciardo as well. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars right ahead of us for the taking, potentially, as we go into parabolic here down the inside of the German. The 2 Toro Rossos, Gasly and Hartley, are side by side. Ricciardo right up behind them, tucked in with dirty air. Vettel gets the better exit off that right-hander, but here goes Ricciardo now up ahead, slipstream. Hartley pulls to the right. It's 3 wide, 4 wide maybe, as Vettel's on the left, I'm on the right, and I go around the outside of 3, 4 cars down to turn 1. Oh, so close. Ricciardo outbrakes me, but we lock up. We're very deep into that corner. Ricciardo comes back and squeezes us towards the grass, but we get the traction, and that is a 4-man overtake on Gasly, Hartley, Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel. What a move, and that is for P2, and effectively that might be the race lead, because Lewis Hamilton up ahead is on super soft tyres. He is 100% doing a 2-stop here. I know I'm doing a 1-stop now. Ricciardo, he's the questionable one. Vettel's doing a 1-stop as well, but like I mentioned, looks like the Ferraris, or at least Vettel, has some sort of issue that's making him go slower for some reason compared to the initial first opening laps of this Grand Prix, where they took a 1-2 in the race. And so it could be very juicy for us, but we have to do some defensive work now, as Ricciardo on soft tyres at the moment has the advantage, obviously, a bit better grip and traction out of the corners. But like I mentioned, as the laps go on and the tyre wear kicks in, as we just about wring the neck out of this car and push it to the limit opposite lock through Scari, as the laps go on, I can start to lean on the tyre more than Ricciardo can as his tyre wear kicks in. And so he has a little look down the inside of Parabolica, doesn't work out, and through the apex of the corner, try and get the best exit we can in 5th gear. But Ricciardo might have a look here as Hamilton says fast after the Grand Prix. But of course, he's on super soft tyres, so that's to be expected. But where will Ricciardo come now with DRS? I suspect Rich Mix as well. Here he comes on the right-hand side. So we're on the outside, but that will turn to the inside of turn 2, remember. So he outbrakes us initially, but in the second phase of the chicane, here we go. Pinch him onto the outside a little bit. He gets good traction. We bang tyres, but we're still side by side. No, he gets us now. We tuck in back to the slipstream to try and get the speed back on him. And now we're going to pull out to the left once more. A little bit of wobble and shake. I'm not too sure what on earth Ricciardo's doing, moving left and right. So I'm being cautious about that. But here we go. Down the inside, lock up. We're going to switch back move on him on the racing line. He's dipped his front wheel onto the gravel, it looks like, I think. So we'll get back up into second place now on the apex, just run wide on purpose, and we're back into second place now, and that's a good defensive drive against Ricciardo. And like I mentioned before, if Ricciardo is going to end this Grand Prix on a one-stop with the audacious soft tyre strategy, this is a fight effectively for the race lead, because Hamilton is going to be coming in at some point for his two-stop here. And on lap 16 with 11 laps to go, on to lap 17 with 10, I think Hamilton up ahead is coming in on the mini-map. I think that's his car slowing down and entering the pit lane here. So this may be now us taking the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and what a scene this would be. The McLaren Renault. Obviously, this race, it's clearly a good one for Renault-powered cars, at least of me and Ricciardo. We're currently beating both of the Mercedes cars and Ferraris there, so the Renault engine is working very well in the back of both our cars respectively. And yeah, we're up into first place now. Ricciardo second, and the more laps we go on to this Grand Prix, the more I think he's going to try this one-stop. But Vettel now behind us has overtaken him, actually. Top left, look at that. He's up into P2, so looks like Ricciardo's tyres are maybe going off, but no, Ricciardo comes back, so it's a great scrap between Ricciardo and Vettel behind us. The unfortunate thing is, though, guys, you may have noticed so far, there's been no replay cameras, and I can't show you that great scrap between two former teammates at Ferrari, Ricciardo and Vettel, because the replay cameras, because just like it happened 2 times in this series so far, my game unfortunately crashed just as I crossed the line of this race, so I don't have any replay cameras. And actually, the way my recording cut out, the recordings got corrupted. I've thankfully been able to save it up until this second last lap of the Grand Prix. So I'm really annoyed because I can't even show you the kind of just nice podium sequence for the first time. What would it be? But I can confirm we did bring this through to win the Italian Grand Prix from Daniel Ricciardo to Valtteri Bottas. Actually, Bottas in the end of it managed to get Sebastian Vettel at the end of this race. But I'm really annoyed that the mod just didn't work with the game and just decided to crash as soon as we crossed the line effectively. So like Bahrain, and like I think it was 4 episodes ago, I can't show you any of that, and I can't even show you the delightful podium sequence that would have been Fernando Alonso up in at Monza of all places. On the top step, so real shame, but nonetheless, let's all celebrate because we've got our first win here in this career mode series with Fernando Alonso in McLaren Renault. Absolutely awesome stuff there. So guys, be sure to smash that like button for a win here at the Italian Grand Prix. And like I said earlier on the episode, you know, it was a 1-2, Ricciardo, me in second place at the Belgian Grand Prix last episode, and now it's the same thing but just the other way around. At the moment, all the momentum in this series is with myself and Daniel Ricciardo, and that's going to make this championship very tasty indeed, with another kind of iffy race for the likes of Vettel, Hamilton. And so going to the Drivers' Championship, it means Ricciardo still leads for the Drivers' Championship. He took the lead last episode, but he still maintains that lead. Hamilton in second still, Vettel still in third, but you can see the points gap now is 10 points for Ricciardo to Hamilton. Vettel's gone down a little bit to Hamilton, but now we're up ahead of Kimi Räikkönen with 133, 1 point ahead of Kimi, and if we keep up the momentum, dare I say it, could we make a late charge for the championship? I mean, I'm going to need a lot of bad luck. I'm going to need Hamilton, Vettel, Ricciardo to have a lot of bad luck, but you know, we've seen it before in F1 games that the AI love to have their fair share of bad luck and mishaps and mayhem. So, I don't know. I don't want to tempt fate, but you never know. You never know. But in the constructors then, it's all getting rather close between the top 3 teams. Red Bull closing up on Ferrari now, and both of them are respectively closing up onto Mercedes. So, that's brilliant. This is exactly what we want to see in real life, and it's what we're getting at the moment in the game. Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull all closing up, and it could be a really great Titanic scrap 3-way away scrap for the Constructors' Championship by the end of this thing. But guys, if you have enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. Again, apologies for the lack of replay cameras and just the fact I couldn't even show you me crossing the line and having the podium sequence. The game, yeah, just unfortunate. For the third time now in this series, it's crashed. It's a bit of an unstable mod, but, you know, we're just going to have to take it, and it doesn't happen too often, thankfully. But, yeah, apologies that happened for this one. But let me know what you thought in the comments below of this one then. If you are new around here, do get subscribed for weekly 4-long content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.